All right, guys. Well, this lens is filthy, isn't it? Or at least it looks it. Hold, please. Eek, 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 eek. Might be better. Anywho. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, pretty sure it's a 1970 Beetle. Full disclosure, like always, I already piddled with it a little bit. I have B-roll. Hopefully I'll run some B-roll right after this intro. It's in here for a running drivability issue. It's apparently hard starting, spit sputters, just doesn't run right. So, did a little diag on it. Like I said, hopefully I got the B-roll after this, but I did a little diag on it. Tried to sync the carburetors up, wouldn't sync. Well, scratch that. They would sync, but the engine still was unhappy, and the adjustment screws weren't vibing the way my brain would vibe an adjustment screw for them to be sunk up. Sunk up. Correct. So use a little brake clean diagnostical and find out that the driver's side intake is leaking. So I'm getting erroneous readings, even though the sync is saying sunk, correct? It's still leaking more air in. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. So we're gonna change out the driver's side intake manifold. Also, it sounds like the damn thing has a rev limiter on it, and I do not know if that's because it has a vacuum advance. It's a dual carb engine if you haven't picked up. It sounds like when you rev it up, it has a rev limiter, or you know, it's weird with the ignition. And I don't know if that's because the vacuum advance isn't vacuum advancing enough. I've had issues in the past where if you don't tee the intakes together, your vacuum advance kind of just like does what it wants to do. So I'm gonna rip that out and put it in a 009. I've had better luck with 009s than trying to get vacuum advances working correctly. Also, it's a Petronics unit, and if you watch this channel long enough, you know I've been having nothing but issues out of the Petronics brand, Petronics. So we're just gonna eliminate all the things that I don't like and put in things that I do like. Yeah, I know, old dog, new tricks. You know, if it works, you know, I use it for years. Doesn't matter what you guys use. This is what works. I warranty my stuff. You might be able to, play in your garage for, 3 days trying to get something to work. I need stuff in and out. So that's where I'm at with that. All right, bring it back there, pop the engine cover. I already got it on the rack, enough. We're a little crammed in here like I don't know, sardines. Yeah, in a can, tin. Anyway, I overbooked. Throw me in the back. Tell you this much, it was definitely scramble season. I'll show you more on this car. I haven't even cut an intro yet. But as per normal, I like to show things while I do things. And I need to move this car because I overplanned and I'm booked like crazy and I gotta move it. It's in here for basically a general, I guess, tune-up, for lack of better terms. I'll go more in my intro, but right now it runs like poop. Sounds like a bad carb sync, so we're just gonna sync them up and hopefully get it running a little better so I can feel confident just, moving this thing around. And for right now, it's just gonna be a down and dirty sync. Unless it's, way the hell off. Because I'm not going to loosen the crossbars. Again, I just did dual carbs on that, 79, fuel injection conversion. And rubber fuel line, how I run steel, they ran rubber. Not a big deal. The owners of this car did not buy this or build this car. They bought it as is. So I'm not going on it, but yeah, I don't like rubber. I say this in my videos. Nothing against the builders. People do it. They've run fine forever. But all right, let's fire this thing up. It does run. But it's definitely off. I checked the timing, bumped it up a few degrees. I'm still trying to sync the carbs. I'm going to disconnect and then get it in, hopefully dialed. Yeah, the throttle linkage is way off. Ugh. All right, enough of that. It's taking forever. Yeah, throttle linkage is way off as far as that bar goes. Yes, I did adjust it, obviously. Come down some. Pan. But I'll also, where's my other light? Flashlight! Also, Super Beetle video. Wow. Case in point why I run my springs the way I do. I make a comment that spring doesn't pull correctly. You got to pull from that way. Well, if you notice, they put another cheater spring on to pull it. This side's usually good. I usually end up crossing both of them anyway. But yeah, that's what they have going on there. I've seen it. I've done it. And I mainly do it when I do not have the original plates that come with these engines. Spring kits, what have you. Might have some laying around. But yeah, I'm going to disco this throttle linkage from up here right now. Because it is, that carb's not shutting. It says it's synced, which also concerns me because that carb's not shutting. Just go somewhere that is going to be annoying. Perfect. Why is that adjusted out so far? I mean, they are bent. Yeah, this one's not coming back to rest. Ow! The frickin' throttle shaft is loose. The cam plate, this guy, watch it on the nut. Yeah, that is what we call not ideal. So now let me get a 12 and tighten that up. Okie dokes. Hey, that's tight now. All right. I'll come back with a screwdriver later. That side seems fine. All right, now let's possibly fire this thing up and see what the tune is. The timing looked all right. It was sitting at 6. I did move it up a bit. Vacuum plugs on that one. Vacuum we're pulling. I like 009s. I might actually just put a 009 on this thing. All right, a few issues. Got a vacuum leak. I don't know how well you can hear anything. Vacuum leak driver side. Hose with some brake clean. She'll dip in the rev range. Probably about 30, 40 RPMs. Just also, sounds like it's having an ignition cut. And I notice that we have electronics on here, which is fine. It's vacuum advance, which this is a 19 and some change engine, I think, and it's a Petronic unit. So one of two things. One, the vacuum advance ain't giving the vacuum to advance. I didn't hit blip with the light. Hey, I'm on TDC, dead nuts. So see, that hurts, the vacuum ain't whipping her in, so she's got that giddy up. Or, yeah, it's the Petronics. I mean, okay. What's our voltage? It said they changed that. Well, she lights right off. 14. All right, so she charges. Sorry, quick diag. We have vacuum leak driver side. Why is it always the driver? I don't know. I do the same thing. Watch my videos. All right, driver side vac leak. And it definitely sounds ignition related, that cut. It has enough fuel. I mean, it still runs a mechanical pump, whatever. But it does have enough fuel, obviously, to eat and idle at idle. So with that being said, it's definitely not eating the bulls down on a rev up. So fuel supply, oh, that's foam. Fuel supply, I'm not gonna say is 100% there, but it's there for, the testing or what I'm doing currently. We're gonna have to go back and adjust these things again, but I do not. If I have to move the car, I'm gonna idle the car. And if I idle the car, I'd like the linkage attached. So, all right, quick diag. That's where we're at. Now I get to make a phone call and, give good news. All right, hopefully that sorts this out because it is, I mean, even for whatever, 1900 or 1800, I have the specs for it, I just haven't paid attention. She's, bippity boopity is it's weird. Well, not weird, it's running off and it's syncing right, but if it syncs right up here, it doesn't mean it's getting less fuel or more air, anywho, Watch my blue Beetle where I screwed that one up. It'll explain a lot. But it at least twists off now. So we fixed something. Drivable, not recommending. But all right, let me make a phone call. I'll be back. So I got to cut an intro for this one. Yeah, we've been busy. We also got, scaffolding in here. So that's good. But all right, I'll be back and maybe cut an intro and tell you what's going on because I don't even know yet. It's going to be a quick tune-up. It is not. I'll be back. All right, guys. Like I said, this is a I don't even think it's a 19 some change, 1915. It's a bigger engine, running dual MP40s, so it's there. Vacuum advanced distributor. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of running them on duals or on duals. So this could be an issue. It may or may not be, but yeah, we're going with what I know works and what I warranty. Could I spend an astronomical amount of time getting this whole system working correctly? Yes. Am I going to say a 009 is going to work better? Well, I am because that's what I'm doing to it, but also yes. Oh, the other thing I don't like, and I complain, if you watch my videos long enough, you know how I run fuel lines on duals. I don't know if I'll show this. I hate rubber fuel line the entire way. Usually I'm running out and the T's over here and then a metal line runs over to this side. I don't know. People, like I said, people do it all the time. Obviously, case in point. I'm not saying there's something wrong with it. I'm not a fan of so much rubber in an engine compartment. So, with that said, let's start ripping this thing apart. I don't know why these are always so freaking tight. Owner of this car, acquired this car, bought this car, what have you, after the builder, I guess, built it during COVID or what have you. You know, that pandemic thing we had. I don't know, I can't tell if there's a ball in there or not. But yeah, wow. Once you get the tension off, she moves freely. But yeah, the original owner who this guy got it from, the springs are in there. So I don't know why the hell they're so tight. Just built it during being bored during the panini, and I mean, sold it. But a lot of things that have been done to it, and per talking with the owner, they're not Volkswagen people, or don't live and breathe these things like probably anyone watching this channel. Had some concerns after they built the thing about the build quality. Now, I have not been through this car so far, but from what I have seen, it looks all right. Everyone's style's different, so on and so forth. Engine bay, stuff like that. I mean, the car's been done clean. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not 100% sure if this was just going on how things are working on it. I don't know if this thing was actually built to be really, I don't know, road going? Because there's a lot of stuff on this thing that even I have a little bit of questions on, like the clutch. It's way out of adjustment. It's too tight. It's all the way to the top. I don't like that. It's, could be a personal opinion or personal taste. But I don't like it for the simple fact that you got to lift so high. I like, just take your foot off the gas and should be going. If you haven't figured it out right now, we're taking off the carburetor. Like I said, and then because I'll have this carb off, I'll check the plugs. Because I'm hoping, well, this side, because of the vacuum leak, it should be running cleaner, less rich looking, or hell, it could be more rich looking, depending who is tuning it. or how they were tuning it. But yeah, I'll check the plugs, because if you didn't know, you got to pull carburetors off to get to spark plugs. And if they look good, we're not going to do that. Unless they're like an auto light or something, then we'll do that. I have ran auto lights before. Non-resistive plugs. There are what, 414s. And I use those specifically for certain applications on some cars I deal with that run better with a non-resistive plug. I don't know, they just do. See, with the gasket. All right, pull this thing off. Not move anything. Get this vacuum line off. All right, what's that gasket look like, number one? Gasket looks good. A little charring under it, or under the carb. So that's right there telling me it's been spitting and sputtering out that side. Vacuum line. You can go away. Singing to myself makes me happy. Oh, that's a rubber line all the way up. Again, I run steel. You know, basically to the pump. Especially with a dual carb setup, you can really minimize the crap you have passing down the side of that carburetor. Bosch plugs, or plug wires, so I'm going to assume that this has Bosch plugs. That cable looks healthy. Has a cable saver and yeah. If I don't have to address it, I'm not going to. I really need to get this bar out of the way. But I'm probably going to be stubborn and not. That works. Yeah, if I see Bosch wires, bet you're Bosch plugs. Those should be 12s. I think the dual carbs I put on that 64 Blue Beetle, I did the exact same thing. Put it together, ran great on the first video, and then yeah, that's not good. No idea where that nut went. Fishing. Yeah. That has to be tight. Hello. Did you guys find the world's smallest washers to put on this? There we go. These aren't even the washers that come with the kit. They're also two different sizes. Heights. What was I talking about? Oh, this thing. Yeah, what the hell is going on with that? Is not on there correctly at all. I'm ADDing, hold on. Spark plug socket? Nope, 19. I mean, it wasn't even tight, so that's even gooder. Did I mention they put a new alternator on this thing? I don't know. I might have said it in the B-roll. Okay. No, that's corrected. What are we doing? What do we got? Intake. All right. It's not going to pick up, but there's wet up here. And a nick. Nick shouldn't hurt anything. You can also see what she was running. I don't know if this will even pick up. She was having some issues with the backfires. It's carboned up in there. Or it's beginning to carbon. Intake gasket. Trying to be careful. So I don't, screw it up. I have another one. We're putting another one on. All right. Let's see. All right, you can see a full seat all the way around. I can see where it was cutting in. This back side. Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you tight? All right, hardly any no, not at all. Zero tightness. What if the other side's tight? Fan, you're getting very annoying. We'll probably change out all these plugs. My warm and fuzzies are not so warm and fuzzy. That's anti-seize. They're not burning bad. Both of these are even to rich. Or they're on the rich side. Passenger side because I can get this one. All right, so maybe. Running the same. This one's sooty, but it's a little hotter. Seeing how these are 34s, this car did come with paperwork. Well, I'm gonna end up taking this carb off. Shoot. All right, let me see if I can get spark plugs. I'll be back. But yeah, well, I said, see now these are 34s, and I see that they're rich. That at least is telling me that it's getting enough fuel, or it's being supplied enough fuel. So, all right, let me try to get my hands on these spark plugs because I am going to change them all. But yeah, they are. I don't know. I don't know how else to scientifically show you that basically the ratchet knocked them loose. This is also why every one of my videos I show you I actually do throw a torque wrench on these things. So, what's the I mean, hell, I can pretty much just show you right now. The crush washer. It's not even crushed. That's how little torque was on these. Here's an obvious old plug. Oh, come on. See how flat they get? This is an NGKR. Same thing, just different, fatter. But yeah, when these washers crush, they crush. They don't stay high and proud and round. So let me see if I can get my hands on them. I was wondering why I had 3 because I have 4 in the engine still, or technically 1 in the engine still. Anyway, look at it, I was correct. Yeah, let me try to get my hands on these plugs. If I can, great. If I can't, well, I'll clean them up and reuse them. Man, you could tell that belt was loose for a while. All right, let me stop rambling, look up some parts, and I'll be back. All right, guys, it's the next day. I got plugs. I am going to hopefully get as much of this done as I can, because I don't know if it picks up in the mic, but it's raining. And that doesn't hurt me, but weirdly enough, I'm having tree service come out today, and well, they're gonna be working in this. I'm not playing in the water. Yes, they want to. So anywho's, before chainsaws and all the other loud noises start to show up, I'm gonna try to knock out as much of this as I possibly can. I did get spark plugs, so I at least, hopefully, can get them in. They're a smaller plug. That's why the brain didn't correlate. They're, well, 5/8 obviously, but the actual threaded part's smaller than even a Porsche or a bus. Electrolink's same, just different diameter. So we got new plugs. Same ones that came out, they're NGKs, I'm happy with it. We're obviously gonna put them back in. But yeah, I'm not racing the clock, but I'm racing the clock. I could have broke that one by hand. Yeah, not 100% sure what what was going on, but yeah, washer not even crushed again. And actually, there's a new plug. Brand new plug versus old plug. Focus, thank you. You can tell that the crush washers, these things, they're pretty much identical. So these weren't torqued, they weren't put down, which, I mean, okay. Now I do understand people do get gun shy tightening spark plugs, which actually is not a bad thing. But you have to tighten them. Yeah, you're not supposed to bounce on the torque wrench. Reason I do it is if you've ever used a torque wrench to put down spark plugs with the washers on them, the crush washers, you can torque them down to where they need to be. And I guarantee if you go right back over it, it's going to be loose, or it won't be at torque anymore. You basically have to seat that washer. So usually your first bounce is a proper, improper torque reading. Click, and I can go up and then light pressure again. I bet you it'll still move. Well, call me a liar. All right, everything's buttoned up, no trickery. Removal's the same as unremoval. What I am gonna do now though, is check valves, make sure that they're all gonna be copacetic. Why are there grinding marks on this? I don't know. Let's TDC the engine, see what they feel like. That should be one. Yep. Another thing, whenever I do dual carbs, you never see me put the coil down there. It's always mounted up off to the side. I just keep, I don't know, something about putting a coil in a hot engine is what it is. Or, you know, I just don't like it personally. But, that's going to change, obviously, but I just want it out of the way. I'm going to leave this the distributor in for right now. Again, if it works, I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to upsell the customer. But if we're going to have that rev limiting cut again, or if it doesn't sound like it's whacking out the way it needs to, like I said, I'm pulling off of one side. I personally, especially with a bigger engine, I've had issues. But if it works, we're going to leave it alone. If not, I'm going to shove a 009 in. But let me check these valves real quick. Nothing major. You've seen me adjust them on videos before. Just gonna pop the valve covers off, check, adjust if needed. If anything hinky shows up, I'll bring you in. Like, you know, I don't know, a drop valve guide or something like that. But hopefully it'll be smooth sailing. I don't know how many miles are on this engine, but I don't think there's a lot. I, again, don't only know what I'm told with things. And also goes with if I ask, and I don't think I asked. But yeah, let me go through this. I'll be back. And it sounds like I have a leak. But I haven't seen any water, so I don't know what's going on. If I find a puddle, I'll let you know. Weird and concerning. Not really, but whatever. I'll be back. All right, real quick, just show you in here. If I can get my light to stick to something. Well, you're metal. What are you doing? The aluminum? Oh, I guess so. It's a T-bar. Anywho's. All right, show you what we got going in here. Nothing major. Looks like 4-to-1 ratio rockers. Not sure, but usually we see pedestal stance. Also engine. I don't know. I usually consider them ratio rockers. That guy's fine. This guy's super loose. It's about probably 10 thou. This guy's a door locker. Passenger side, driver, sorry, that was passenger side. Driver side, intake 4, sounds good. Needs maybe a little tighten up. I'm expecting about the same when I do rotation, but so quick adjustment. Nothing too dramatical. Just tighten them up and call it good. We have one, but let me get these things changed out real quick or adjusted real quick, and we'll hopefully fire this thing up. Hopefully that goes well. I'll be back. All right, guys, things buttoned up. Got my sync tool, carb tuner. Let's twist this off and see what happens. Well, hopefully there's still residual fuel in the carburetors to start. All right. Wanted to get the gen light off. About 5. About 5. Very violent. All right. Still has low end wrap it up, bop, 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 bop. So yeah, that's the thing. Let me swap out this distributor. I can take the one out of that one. I got a brand new one I gotta grab. All right, we're on TDC again for the most part. All right, got a new distributor. Man, why is that so tight? I'm gonna drop in a 009, see if that fixes it. I'm hoping. Because I'm not sure what that blop, 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 blop is. What do we get? Hey, plus minus. Love that someone labeled that. So that'd be number 1. I'm hoping. Yeah, all right. New cap. Oh. Dust shield. It did have a, yeah, it did have a dust shield in it. Button. That's in. Cap. You know this is good. It says premium on it. You know, right there. These, like I said, having a coil here is probably the worst spot, just because it's in the way of everything. I'm gonna give myself 10. Ugh! Keon! Ugh. Oh, it would help if I plug these things in, wouldn't it? Negative side of the coil. Clip. Positive side of the coil. Stop. Positive side of the coil. All right, now connect my lead to the negative side of the coil. Or try to. Whoa, you're way out. There we go. All right, as far as static goes, that's close enough. All right, she's movable. Let's fire it up and see what this gets me. That's moving. Stop moving. Bang. Moved again. Sounds awful loose though. Wondering if a spring came off. Yeah, it's not snapping back all the way. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Right. Put a rotor on. Right. Off rest. Not touching anything. Nothing's touching it. It has. Yeah, wherever it stops, it has another. Even on spring back. All right, that's great. I have another new distributor. Let me grab this. Put this one in. I'll test the spring back first, but yeah, that's. And it could be a weight that's just loose, but yeah. Watching it in the timing gun, you can see it run out of steam. Just kind of gets stuck somewhere. So, all right, great. I'll be back. Round 2. All right, this is another brand new one I have with, well, still has the points in it. This one's even worse. Looking in here, the spring's not even attached. Well, I mean, it's attached, it's just not attached. This is one we pulled out of Type 3. But forward, spring back. No kickback. All right. I know, I mean, this one just looks like garbage. If I can throw that in. I don't have another new one, unfortunately. Or do I? No, I got a vacuum advance one. Pop you out. The electronics are at least good in that. Slam this one in. They made and I did make the comment saying it walked. I thought the distributor moved. Now the timing just jumped around. All right, let's twist this off, see if this is about where it needs to be. Again, it's just a distributor I had laying on a shelf. I think it works. I think it's my testing distributor. But also it could be crap. And if it is my testing distributor, I'll put new electronics in it. Without walking. should be. Not flopping around so violently. She does have a shade to it, might be the cam. I think I'm louder than the people running the chainsaw. All right, I think we're good. Let's put a vacuum cap on that so we don't have that. I gotta adjust the linkage so it's incorrectly. I almost feel I need to index it up some. But we're good. All right, we had oil. Looks brand new. I haven't even changed it yet. We'll change it. But all right. I don't think I'm even gonna mess with it. Yeah, I got 2 junk carburetors. Or distributors. Unfreaking believable. Not really, with parts nowadays. But here's why I test. Again, when you get stuff out of the box and something doesn't seem right, don't assume the part is correct, I guess is what I'm getting at. So I guess next step, I'm just gonna have to button this up, do a quick oil change on it. Yeah, we'll take it out on the road. Hopefully it's not raining tomorrow, and we'll go out mid-afternoon because I have a dual test drive. I gotta get this thing on the road and this thing on the road. Yes, this thing's still here. Hence awkward filming angle throughout this, but everything seems pretty okay. Also, I was supposed to fix the e-brake, and I can't fix the e-brake because the teeth are worn off and I'm out of frame. Just reframe me. My gut preceded me on this one. So, all right. Hopefully, join me in the morning, and we'll have a nice test drive, or in the afternoon, or sometime next scene with a test drive. Sounds like a plan. My toolbox is going to fall over. You ever open all your drawers and have happen? I've had many times. Not on this one. But things change. But all right. Join me in the next scene, hopefully on the GoPro, and we're going to take this thing for a rip. It has power. What is I'm stuck. I'm old. What does a refire sound like? Oh, yeah. Nice hot refire. Key bumping. Yeah, like I said, I think I said the owners had problems starting it with the cold start. So this all seems legit. I just got to get the linkage attached, and then we'll take this thing out. She has some power. I am recommending bigger carbs because these are, if they are actually 34 stamped. I didn't even look at the jetting. Not a thing I'm going to do. It smells good, but it needs more. It does. It just needs more. It needs at least dual 40s put onto it. Well, quad 40, a 40 a hole, because this is 1900. I would be running a 40 a hole and really get everything I can out of this engine. If they're 34s or even single 40s, what are you doing? Just put a 1600 in, I guess is what I'm getting at. What, are you afraid of power? I mean, I'm not. I'll blow things up. But that's kind of what I'm worried about with these are just 34s. It's a lot of, it smells fine and the plugs are black. So it's definitely getting fuel. Yeah, if I pulled these things out and they were porcelain looking, I'd be a little more concerned on not getting fuel. My thing is you're just not getting the air. So, all right, we'll take this thing out and see how well this goes. Plan. Feels like I had a dragging brake. But yeah, not good so far. I don't know if it loaded up or what, but light load. I didn't even make it basically. I barely went anywhere. Gonna double check timing because she does not seem happy right now. Yeah, I'm gonna double check timing. I basically made it 2-ish blocks, and I turned tail and came back. She's just spitting and sputtering. I'm gonna check timing because it's coming out the carbs. So I'm hoping too far advanced. That would be the only thing. So let me double check timing, see what's going on there. If it's still in spec, I'm not 100% sure, except for these carburetors. The engine, I talked to the owners. They have barely put any miles on it. They don't know how many miles are actually on the engine, and for basically for all they know is this is as well currently is as good as it's ran, but also they don't know what kind of miles it's had since, well, it's had miles. How it ran before, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just not up to my snuff, and by it spitting and sputtering, I'm not happy with it. And again, I'm not blaming the carburetors because you're really maxed out running 34s on a 1915, but something's just not right. I know the car's been driven with this setup, I guess is what I'm getting at. How well it ran, not 100% sure, because it runs like crap. to be honest. Let me check timing, see what's going on with that, and yeah, I'll be right back. Maybe I goofed and something's off. But man, this sucks. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, this lens is filthy, isn't it? Or at least it looks it. Hold, please. Eek, 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 eek. Might be better. Anywho, on the GoPro. Something is hinky with the ignition system. Just pulled out that distributor, put in another distributor, another crap one, I guess. I don't know. It advances, it does what it needs to do. But it just has a ridiculous amount of, it's doing the same thing the Petronix is doing. It's doing ignition cut. So I'm curious if I'm fighting a bad coil. Luckily, I have another coil, and I'll stick that in there. But now I got to rack this whole car up because I'm not doing it on the ground because I got to do a bunch of wiring. But yeah, it's doing the exact same thing. The farting. I might put the slight clip of the quick test drive in, but it's just it's definitely rich. I can smell the fuel, so it doesn't feel fuely. But it's definitely running with an ignition cut, and hopefully I think I had it when I first had this thing with the Petronix on it. Again, still doing this video, so I haven't edited it. Excuse me. It sounds like it's just hitting a rev limiter, hence the reason I went with the. Initially, the reason I took the Petronix off is I thought that the single stack, because it wasn't wide or teed. I thought the single stack wasn't able to pull enough vacuum to give the advance, so it was doing the chop. Right now, I think I have something funky going on with the actual coil itself. Because two distributors, they're both doing the same thing. This one, better, but worse. Like I said, it's just another garbage one I had laying around that has electronics in it. Because, again, man, all right, I've been through... This is another brand new distributor. The shaft hasn't been cut down far enough for me to put electronics in. Would it work for points? Yes. Is this timing on it good? Yes. If you guys are ordering Volkswagen parts and they come in these boxes, don't. Both straight out the box. The advance is crap. Only thing I can do right now, I got a spare vacuum advance distributor I can shove in, brand new. Could put that in, see if that changes anything. I really hate running vac advances on dual carbs, especially with this one. To say it lights off like that, like revs up when it is cooperating. I think the engine will outpace the vacuum advances. Kind of what I'm getting at, just because of how quickly it revs. I don't know if that diaphragm is going to diaphragm fast enough, so you might also lead to a dead spot. But all right, let me do a little more troubleshooting. I do have two brand new distributors on order because the vendor I use finally got them back in stock. I hate outsourcing. Like I said, I don't use the most expensive parts because obviously Petronix, I complain about them all the time. But also I don't use the cheapest parts. The distributors I bought were comparable to what I normally pay for parts, and well, I took a shot. Unfortunately, crap. What's that? Is that a, do I have a distributor on the shelf? I don't think so. I think I used them all. I did. Yeah, I got 2 carburetors. Shit. All right, so let me do a little more troubleshooting. I was hoping to do a nice test drive today and get this thing out of the way, but ignition, and also if it is, it's a tough call because I'm fighting an ignition issue, and if you know Volkswagens, parts aren't really readily available. Usually you got to order everything in. So with that said, I'm I'm just throwing, and like I said, the distributors I keep on the shelf, they're good. They're not made for customers' cars. If the one that was in there worked, I was gonna just let them basically have it, and come back when I finally get a new one in, and just do a swap out, or even go out to them and swap it out. I don't like putting used parts into cars, especially if I'm selling them, unless it's like an amazingly good one, or something I could stand behind. But I pull them for a reason. I keep them on the shelf because they're good enough for what I need testing purposes, but I also don't sell. Do I have another one? Yeah, I only have a vac advance. Crap. Yeah, so those should be in Tuesday, Wednesday, hopefully. Get them installed. Man, this sucks. I'll move a coil, put a new coil in, because like I said, I'm right now working a common theme of, what was I saying? I got distracted. My thing beeped at me. I'm working a common theme right now of I'm having ignition trouble through 3 distributors. And then 3 bad distributors. All the ones I just bought are in the trash, except for that one, because, like I said, if you're using points, that one will work fine. The advanced seems good. But then again, don't trust it. Because machining, terrible machining nowadays. So, all right, let me make a phone call to this owner. See what direction he wants to go, because like I said, I can troubleshoot the ignition system. And if I find anything out, I'll roll the big camera. Troubleshoot the ignition system. I'm going to get the coil out of there. I'm going to put a new coil on, get that one out of there. It's a Bosch Blue. Doesn't mean it's good. Like I said, it'll fire up, it runs, it gets into the rev range, and just falls on his face. Because, obviously. Hot start, it's timed in. It should just fire. Ooh, backfire. Weird. Yeah. Fires up fine. But when you give it the rev, she craps out again. And that's actually better. Leads me to believe the coil is breaking down, because that is actually better than when I just swapped it, because it was spit and sputtering and hating life. All right, we might be onto something. Doing the same thing with 2 ignitions, the exact same, the MPs or the electronics, same ignitions, brand new in both of them. Ran the same. Because they're, iffy on the same, because the distributors are used. The coil's cooled down. And now, you would have heard the backfiring in it, and it's coming out the tailpipe, so it's too far advanced. Yeah, so it's just spitting out, retarded. One way or the other, my brain's not braining right now. But if I gave that gas, or if I gave that throttle when I first put that distributor on, it was not liking life at all. So I think that coil is breaking down, or terminal's loose. I don't know. Let me make a phone call. Do some troubleshooting. Let's see if Amazon can get me a decent distributor overnight. I hate using them because I like having a rapport with my vendors, mainly because I get a deal, and I pass the savings on to you guys, actually, because I don't make money off parts. And also, like I said, car has miles on it with this setup. or with the Petronics. Getting it, it ran like crap. It still runs. It runs better, just not the best. But here's the big thing. Do I keep these dual carbs on, or do I just pull the trigger and do dual 40s? I guess is where I'm at, because I can get the ignition to fire correctly. Because right now I know I'm 70-30 like my ground beef. 70% of the issue right now that I can tell is ignition related. 30% is the unknown, and that's what it does when it's actually on the load with the dual carbs. And also, when I started pulling into the shop, this thing was having a problem idling. Really, really super low idle. So I wasn't paying attention if it was jumping spark or not, losing, or if it just down revs. Usually when engines get hot, as you know, we just did a test drive on my last video. They get hot. They rev up. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point because, I mean, I'm using you guys to troubleshoot what's going through my head, because you don't have to make the phone call to the owner and, again, ask for more money. And money's nice and all, but it's not how I do business. Also, I'd like you guys to have cars to enjoy, if that makes any sense. So I think I'm gonna unfortunately hang on to this car for one more week. I'm probably just gonna dual carb it, dual 40s, put them on, move the coil, new ignition system, and yeah, we'll just button it up. Like I said, it could be the same thing with all you. You guys know your cars. You also, or someone who builds cars, or your cars has someone to work on it. They know what works. The old dog, new trick. It's very true for some things. Me included. I know what works. I know what I've had the best success with. And the biggest thing is I, again, warranty my work. Do I feel comfortable? This is where it lays down to. Do I feel comfortable letting this car leave with this setup? I do not. Like I said, I know you can run 34s, but it is pushing the air side of this thing. And again, I don't know the engine spec. I know dual 40s will handle it, no problem. Gen it right, call it good. But you're sharing 34 millimeter, not counting the Venturi, which is think like 28. So you're really doing 28 a hole versus what, 34 a hole on a, you're counting the Venturi. Yeah, you're sharing. What I'm getting at is you're sharing one hole per 2 cylinders on a 1915. So do math, split that engine, whatever it comes out to, 800 or 700 and something cc's, 800 and something cc's a cylinder, or a side, versus running a dual, where you're getting, you can just calibrate that hole. Yeah, I think I'm going to make the call and tell them, basically, give them the option, not tell them, obviously. Well, I'm telling them, but I'm going to give them the option not to do it. But to make it, to give me the warm and fuzzies, and not this engine's going to pop going down the road, because it is a clean build. The engine is good. They were telling me that the person that built it seemed like they sort of knew what they were doing, but also didn't at the same time, if that makes any sense. And it's evident on some of the stuff that I've seen here. But that's neither here or there. We should, yeah. I'll make a phone call. I'll probably wrap up this video. I've been rambling for, 15 minutes now on this. And yeah, I'll make a phone call, see what's going on, see what they want to do. And I'll wrap it up actually on the big camera, because I don't know what the audio quality is on the GoPro. I honestly hate using the GoPro. I at least have one of my mics on now, because I'm in the somber mood and I want it to pick up like Eeyore, usually when I'm talking in my neck. That's why I like my lapel mic. All right, I'm procrastinating enough. Most likely you'll join me on the big cam for what's going on. Let me unplug that so it doesn't like run down the battery. That'd be nice. All right, be right back. All right, guys, closing out this episode on the 70 Beetle. Did call up the owner. We're gonna do what, like I said in probably my ramble, if I have it all of it in here, we're gonna do what I'm used to doing. We're gonna do dual 40s, jetted for what I typically jet a 1915 for, and hopefully that solves everything. I am gonna throw in, because I think I'm still fighting ignition, and I don't, like I said, I've been through 3 distributors now. The common denominator between all the distributors is that coil. So I'm going to also change out the coil and relocate it, because I hate them in that engine plenum or whatever. And also doing the dual carbs, well, I get to rerun the fuel lines the way I want to. That to me is a plus. But with that said, we unfortunately not a successful episode. You know, you take these things in, you think it might be a simple, tune-up, whatever. Not realizing what the extent of the problems are. Like I said, they bought the car, they haven't been able to enjoy it. They're going off of what the guy, I guess, told them and gave them paperwork for. I mean, there's paperwork for this car. But with that said, don't know how many miles are on it. They don't know how many miles are on it. They haven't been able to really drive the car because they were experiencing the exact same thing I'm experiencing. And I'm pretty sure it's just it was an experiencing problem. The carbs are just too small. I think I said this in the beginning of this. I haven't edited it, so I can't remember if I did or not. The 34s just cannot handle this engine. We're going to dual 40s. Two barrel dual 40s, not single barrel dual 40s. And that will be adequate enough. They're still small enough, but I can jet them to where the car is going to be happy. Could have did 44s, but nah, we're doing 40s. It'll be fine. It's all good. We'll jet it, get this car back on the road. Hopefully another new distributor is going to be here, because I'm still not sold that, like I said, the distributors I've been putting in, the first one I put in, that was known good out of one of my engines. It's actually out of my single port. So I know there's nothing wrong with that system on there, as far as the electronics or the weights go. The 3 junk ones I got in, I am pissed, because obviously I'm eating the cost of 3 junk ones, and I have to try to get them warrantied out because they're junk, and I'm not even going to do that because I threw them out already. So there's that. But with that said, capping this episode, unfortunately the car is not done, but it's better than how it showed up. Just not hitting my standards, obviously. So next episode, we'll throw the carbs on, hopefully get them synced up, get everything, at least the engine, to where I like it and I'm happy with it, and take it out for a rip and let the owners actually enjoy this car as it's meant to be enjoyed. So with that said, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. It is a pretty bug. Unfortunately, it doesn't go anywhere.